Since we inhabit the earth, our attitude for action, to seek for continuous changes of ourselves and the world we live in, has been always very strong. The chorus of Antigone already warned about the power and the action of humankind in overturning our planet by means of technology. The nature of human activities has changed radically since then. At that time, there were well-defined and proximate purposes. Today, instead, the human action through the deployment of technology has a universal dimension, able to transfer cosmic processes in the nature. It is enough to think about the anthropogenic climate interference or our intense use of the photosynthetic capacity of the planet. This huge and ambivalent power, both in its destructive and creative connotation, is feared as a new challenge for humanity. From this point of view, the paradigm of Dr. Strangelove by Kubrick took on a symbolic value in our culture. Science and technology in the hands of visionaries or criminals derail and led us straight to disaster. Since the beginning of the modern period, man realizes to achieve the truth and knowledge only through action and not through contemplation. In this way, the thought resulted gradually subordinated to the doing. Indeed, it was an instrument, the telescope, a work from human hands to reveal the secrets of the universe. This shift is well expressed in the words from Galileo Galilei. Philosophy is written in this grand book, I'm in the universe, which stands continually open to our gaze. But it cannot be understood unless one first learns to comprehend the language and interpret the characters in which it is written. It is written in the language of mathematics, and its characters are triangles, circles, and other geometrical figures, without which it is humanly impossible to understand a single word of it. Without this, one is wandering around in a dark labyrinth. In this approach, the being is replaced with the process. The former appears and reveals. The latter is invisible, conceptual and formal, and its existence is deduced only through the appearance of other phenomena. The relationship between humankind and nature becomes thus indirect and achieved only through the intermediation of calculus and instruments. Means prevails over end. The words of the philosopher Ortega y Gasset well depict this feeling by stating that modern technical man is in the same situation as the young Louis XV. He had all the talents except the talent to make use of them. This consideration has been further elaborated in modern philosophy. In Hannah Arendt's book Vita Activa, it is stated the risk for humankind to lose any chance for the future, once technical know-how and specific skills detached from the thought. We have the risk to become slaves to technical know-how more than machines themselves. Human beings unable of thinking and thus at the mercy of any possible technical achievement, as it can be deadly. There are several ingredients that make the energy transition a real challenge for humankind. Beyond the environmental issues that we have previously analyzed, and beyond the complex linkages with the socio-economic and political dimensions, the next energy transition must deal with other two key aspects. The first one is the irrational behavior of humankind, the sliding down into the abyss of the human will and the perversity of human nature to go beyond limits and sometimes collapse. The second one is the technocratic thinking that entails the alienation from authentic human progress. The energy question or crisis is therefore a civilization crisis that cannot be faced only as an issue of technological obsolescence. This feeling is similar to the human root of the ecological crisis recently argued by the Pope Francis in the encyclical letter Laudato Si. It would hardly be helpful to describe symptoms without acknowledging the human origins of the ecological crisis. The energy transition is a pillar of the broader sustainability cast and thus an instrument for human progress. All previous talking points to the fact that sustainability cannot be undertaken only by means of technology, and with the same attitude that governed our actions over the last decades and centuries. The need for energy of our society is not only a technical issue. Our technical power will hopefully and likely improve in next years. In fact, the main issue is to control this power and make a right use of it. The multidimensional and global nature of the energy transition imposes a reflection that transcends specific skills and technical know-how and asks for a more inclusive knowledge of the world that includes the universe, nature, and man. A more inclusive approach is therefore needed to reconcile human action with nature and place humankind at the center of the next energy transition. We might call this sustainable thinking.